Like I said, he's up next in Miami, 299. He's the bantamweight champion of the UFC. Sugar Sean O'Malley. Hello, Sugar. How are you?
Ariel, I can't complain, brother. How are you doing?
Where are we coming from here? What is this?
I'm headed to my second practice. We'll head into the other house. Gonna go get a workout in my Sprinter van. I'm just a driven person. You know what I mean, Ariel?
Yes, I love this. This is incredible, this car.
Driven as in I'm not driving.
Sure. Yes. But it's an amazing setup you have here, and I love the juxtaposition of the car seat right next to the whole setup.
Well, yeah. It's it's a little dark in here. We turn the lights on for you, Ariel.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. This is a great look at that. The chain you've got. You got the 305 hat, looking fantastic, and you looked fantastic. Oh, there's the thumbs up. I love when it does that. You ever see that? You do a thumbs up, and then the screen does thumbs up too. It's so weird. I don't know where that came from. Now it won't work. So you were there on Saturday, looking great. First, I'll ask you your thoughts on the main event because I know you had your eyes on Ilia Topuria. Oh, there it is behind you. What fight is that? Is that?
You muted on your phone. Oh, yeah. That's me versus Aljo. I just like to watch stuff.
Sure. What did you think of Ilia's win in the main event?
Oh, it's beautiful performance. Beautiful. Loved it. Ilia's, ever since he kind of came on the scene, I remember when he fought Ryan Hall, he was in the back warming up on one of the prelims on one of my cards. I was probably on the main card. He was in the prelims. And I was watching him warm up. Didn't know who he was. I was like, damn, he's fighting Ryan Hall. Ryan was kind of killing everyone at the time. And I was like, and then he goes out there and knocked out Ryan Hall. I was like, damn, that was impressive. Watched him ever since. So to go out there, watch how confident he was all fight week leading up to that fight. And for him to go out there and do that was a beautiful performance.
Were you expecting that? Or did you think that he was biting off more than he could chew against Volk?
I don't know. I mean, Volk coming off that nasty KO not too long ago, Ilia's confidence that high, how dangerous he is. I had a feeling that Ilia was going to win, but I was like, you can't count Volk out. Volk's the man. So it's hard, fighting's so crazy. It's hard to count anyone out, but crazy. We're knocked out the featherweight goat in round 2. I knocked out Aljo, bantamweight goat in round 2. I kind of pushed for that fight a little bit. I've been getting a lot of hate for it, a little pushback saying that I'm ducking Merab. I'm like, Merab just not barely. He whooped Henry, but Henry's like 42 or something. He looked horrible. I would have knocked Henry out 4 times that fight. And then Ilia goes out there and knocks out Volk, the greatest featherweight of all time in round 2, in a beautiful performance. And I'm calling him out, and then I'm getting shit from the MMA fans saying, oh, you're ducking Merab. I'm like, I'm trying to call out like a fight that I feel is like exciting. That's like, holy shit. But I got a lot of pushback on it. I don't know if people actually want me to fight Merab as much as they just hate the confidence that I have that I'll go out there and knock out Ilia. But I decided, I've said what I needed to say. I've sent my message to to Ilia. If Merab's next. I can get Ilia whenever the time comes. I haven't talked to UFC because obviously there's nothing to talk about. I got Chito Vera March 9th. That's what's next. That's what I need to focus on. I'm definitely not overlooking him by any means. I've said what I need to say to those guys. And really what it comes down to is I go out there and put on the performance that I say I'm going to put on against Chito. A beautiful, masterful performance. And I call out whoever I want on that mic. I think I can get what fight I want. But I got to go out there and do what I do.
And I appreciate that very much. The reason I opened with Ilia is because of the back and forth you guys had on social media, and I heard you, or I read you say that he's going to be your Eddie, sort of implying that he's going to be the guy that you. Yes. So does that mean you're standing down now? Like, are you just moving on from this idea?
Ilia is my Eddie. Woo, that was clean. That, like I said, I got Chito Vera. Whatever, how many days it is, 19 days, whatever it is. I got to get through him, which I will. Confident. But anything can happen, and I learned that in the first fight against Chito. Anything can happen, so I'm not overlooking him. I got to go out there and do what I do. I got to show up, put on a beautiful performance, and I think I can get. I mean, I went out and knocked out Aljo, called out Chito. That's the fight. That's the fight I got. If I would have went out there and barely beat Aljo, and it's like maybe I don't have that power. Not saying that I have the power right now, but I go out there and do what I want to do, and I get on that mic and I call my shot. We'll see what happens.
Okay, so I know you just touched on Merab's win over Henry a little bit, but if you could expand, were you surprised that it was that one-sided, that dominant?
Yeah, a little bit. I was hearing rumors, the fight day that hey, Henry didn't have a great camp. Henry hurt his groin. Henry didn't get a spar. Didn't get to train as much as he wanted to. So with that being said, it's like you can't go into a fight not 100% against Merab. Merab's a machine. He's 10-fight win streak. He's fucking good. So yeah, I wasn't surprised when I heard that. Henry is getting a little bit older. If he's done, he's done. So yeah, no, I think it's so weird watching fights live and then watching them back on the TV. I haven't been able to rewatch any of the fights on the TV yet, so I'll probably have a different perspective on it. But he looked good.
Just curious, why did you go to the fights?
I wanted to punk out Cheeto, but he wasn't there. I don't know where he went. I don't know where he was. I thought he was going to be there. I thought, I was kind of pushed for that Ilia fight. I thought maybe I could have a run-in with someone. Didn't see Merab, didn't see Henry, didn't see Ilia. Cheeto didn't even show up. My aura was too big. My presence was too powerful. It intimidated him. I heard he was in California. He decided not to go. Maybe got a little scared. I don't know.
So you just went in and out for the day?
I was there. Yep. Flew in Saturday morning, flew out Sunday morning.
Okay. And Dana White did say afterwards that Merab is next. Do you think that is the right call at 135? Merab should be next.
Dana said that, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. Yeah, I mean, there's Merab, there's Corey, there's Ilia. Those three are all potential for next. It's again, I'm boom, laser focused, dialed, March 9th. Whatever happens after that, I'm very confident in. Merab's very beatable. Henry about knocked him out. Marlon Moraes about knocked him out. Merab's got a crazy good gas tank. He's got good wrestling. He's a dangerous opponent. When I think of like a scary opponent, what makes me go, whoo, that's Ilia. Ilia gives me that he could put your fucking lights out and change your life. That's a scary opponent. Merab's a dangerous opponent. He's just got that good cardio, and he could eventually put your lights out after you gas out. But he's not like he barely fit. He didn't finish Henry. So we'll see. I like big fights. I like when you're grinding through these fight camps. Like Merab. I'm not saying that wouldn't be up there, but what it comes down to is what do the people really truly want to see? If they want to see Merab, I mean that's what's next. But again, hate even talking about that. I got Cheeto in front of me.
One last thing on Henry. Do you think he should retire?
I mean, he didn't look great. He definitely looked worse than he usually does. Again, that could have been the injuries. That could have been him just getting a little bit older, a little bit shorter. I don't know. It's up to him.
Okay, fair enough. And when you were there on Saturday, among the people, what kind of reception did you get?
I felt like a good reception. I feel like the Sugar Fair. I saw a lot of Sugar merch out there. Speaking of dropping a crazy drop, the Miami fight drops tomorrow, Ariel. The people were loving the Sugar Show, and I love the people. It was fun. Good to be there.
Where does it drop? Where can people get it?
Sugarshop.co in the description. I talked to your producer. He said, "Yeah, we'll tag it." No, I'm just kidding. Sugarshop.co.
Oh, we'll put it there. I don't mind. Yeah, hell yeah. Consider it done. And so let me ask you, because you mentioned Miami, that's next. There's a whole thing now, 299 better than 300. Should Sean O'Malley have headlined 300? Why'd they put you on 299? Arguably, the biggest, youngest, freshest faced in the game, new champ, all that. Should you have been on 300? It was a whole saga getting this main event done. They finally got it done on Saturday. But should you have been on 300 rather than 299?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it. I like 299. I like the way it sounds. I like that it's in Miami. I like that it's in March. I wanted it sooner than later. So 299 is perfect for the Sugar Show. I don't think, I'm the biggest thing in the UFC yet. I think, I thought Conor should be, if they're going all out and all that, Alex versus Jamal, sweet fight, really, really badass fight. Excited for that. But maybe UFC 400 I'll headline. But I know the September Mexican Independence Day at the Sphere in Vegas. That's kind of, goddamn it, earlier. You got me talking about future fights.
Sorry.
I got it's hard. I can't let this guy first.
Wow. So you versus Mexico's own Merab Dvalishvili at the Sphere in September. Is that what you're implying?
I was thinking Ilia.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But
Merab's been sort of adopted by the Mexican fans. That's why Ilia's Spanish, so I wasn't. I thought.
I saw he's gonna. I mean, I kind of already took that. Merab's kind of take that. I got the Mexican flag on my UFC belt, Ariel.
Is that true?
Very true.
Wait, is that because they put all the flags there, or because you asked for it to be there?
They ask you because they send you a little custom thing. They say, "What do you want?" And yeah, it's I got the Mexican one.
Wow, you asked for this. Why?
I'm Mexican.
You have Mexican roots.
Yeah,
Which side of the family?
my daughter.
Okay, of course, your wife or your partner. What, are you married?
Yeah, yeah, she's Mexican, and now I have a baby who's Mexican. We have the same DNA. Therefore, do the math.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, I was thinking your mom, your dad. I was thinking of that. Like, yeah, I get it. That makes total sense. Wow. So that would be huge. You should be on the Sphere card. You and Cheeto had the face off. You had the press conference in December. What was your takeaway from that? Oh, there it is. Oh, you can show it to me. I love it. I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Yep. It is amazing, isn't it?
That thing is heavy. You and Cheeto in December. What did you make of it? What did you take? What were the vibes you walked away with? What were your feelings?
Same as when I stood across from him in the octagon. I'm better than this dude. I'm going to go out there and do what I was about to do to him and put his lights out. I feel, he's good. He's tough. He's very durable, but that doesn't get the job done against me. Can't just be tough. Can't just be durable. I believe I'm more skilled, faster, more accurate, and I'm going to go out there and I just feel confident standing in front of him.
You watched that fight a lot, that first fight, in preparing for this one?
No, not really at all, actually. It's such a short fight. You only need to watch it a couple times to pretty much memorize it. I was piecing him up, and that's about it.
Who has improved more since that fight?
I'm the champ now. You tell me.
Do you think he's improved a lot?
Not really, to be honest. Just a little bit. I mean, he's kind of peaked.
You think he's peaked, even after the last performance?
I to be 100% honest, I still haven't fully watched the Pedro fight. I watched 2 minutes of it. I watched 2 minutes of it, realized I was like, I'm going to KO this dude. That's all I needed to watch. Tim does most of the watching, and he'll show me little clips and little stuff here and there. But for the most part, I watched 2 minutes of that, realized I was going to knock him out, and that's all I need to know.
Speaking of Tim, what about this take that he likes to have raw milk at the coffee shop? I mean, straight from the teat, no pasteurization, no almond, no. You surely you don't subscribe to this being a good idea.
I use heavy organic raw heavy whipping cream.
Interesting.
So I don't consider it like
in the coffee.
Yeah, I get like good amount, like that much in there. Froth it. It makes it nice and foamy. I put my AeroPress right into the coffee. I swear to God, I make the best coffee in the world.
Is it you do this at the shop, at the gym?
I don't. Tim makes his coffee different than I do. I just make my coffee at home.
Okay. Well, how is the shop at the gym? He told me I should stop by, but they don't have almond milk. That's my thing, and I kind of feel like I need to hold out until they at least introduce that.
Yeah, I agree. I think you should. I think you make a stand.
Yeah.
For it. It's going really good. We did a little sugar shop pop-up at the coffee shop. Both of the gyms are right next to each other in the same complex. Did a little sugar shop pop-up shop. Had some people come in, buy some of the new merch before it went on sale. It's fun. We have a really, really cool community. Everyone there is super cool, dude. I love watching the adults that come in for jiu-jitsu that work full-time, 40 hours a week, and they grind and they come in, they still do jiu-jitsu. It's motivating. It's inspiring. It's really cool to see. The kids' classes are just the cutest thing ever, watching them roll around. They're actually getting really good, too, so it's really fun to watch. But, yeah, Tim's doing a good job. Built a really cool community there.
Preparing for this fight, obviously biggest fight. The next fight is always the biggest fight. Tim was injured, torn Achilles. Obviously, he could be there, but maybe not as active. Was that challenging?
Not at all. It's so crazy that I remember just yesterday when his Achilles popped, I heard it go, and we all were like, "What the fuck?" And then he got surgery 3 days later, and now we went through a full fight camp, and he's already walking around in it, out of his boot and moving around, holding mitts just fine. Like he's still got a little limp, still got a a little bit of an issue there, but zero worries. Yeah, there was no worries there. He's been holding mitts for me pretty much the whole time. It's actually pretty crazy to think about how fast he's recovered and how active he already is.
Okay. So no hindrance there. I know that you spoke about this a little bit more after the fact, but the last camp going to Aljo was a bit of a nightmare, right? Like you were pretty banged up, and obviously I don't want you to reveal your cards here, but would you say this one a little less tumultuous than the one going into August?
Yeah, sitting here right now, 18, 19 years old, whatever it is, I feel fucking great, Uncle Ariel. I feel great. It's funny because I journal all my fight camps. I write in the morning, I write at night, I write what my weight is, I write how I feel, I write what I do that day. In that last fight camp, I go back because I'll write, in the morning, 19 days out, and then I'll go back and look at my journals from the previous fight camps. And it's crazy looking like just about talking about like what I was dealing with, going through. I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do today? I can't grapple still, like blah blah blah. But it's interesting looking back on how I felt compared to how I feel now. And in my opinion, Aljamain Sterling was the worst matchup for me in the bantamweight division, and I put his lights out in two. So it's a big confidence booster mentally, knowing that I can deal with that, still get the job done.
Why do you do that? The journal. It's fascinating. Why do you do that? And how long have you been doing that?
2017, 2018 for a long time. I just, I thought it could be an advantage. I'm like, if I know, well, it first started, I'm like, God, I wonder what my weight was last camp. And I started doing that early on, and I think before I even got in the UFC. I'm like, I wonder what my weight was. Like, why don't I just write it down? So I have like 6 full journals of fight camp, of knowledge and information, and I want to be the greatest of all time, and I think that's just something maybe not necessary, but a little part of the recipe to get there.
Preparing for this fight as champion as opposed to the rest of your career where you're chasing a belt, chasing a guy, any difference there mentally?
Not really. The only reason you want to be champ is to get paid more. I'm getting pay-per-view. I'm making a lot more money I've ever made, and that's what drives me. I've been a businessman since I got into the sport. Being champ's great, love it. But the reason I wanted to be champ is I wanted to get paid. And here we are, I'm getting paid, and it feels great.
Best thing you bought since becoming champ, other than the ranch, of course. But I think you had that a little bit before, right?
I bought it before the fight,
Yeah.
moved in after. That's my first camp, but I'm building a warehouse. It should be getting done today, a 4,000 square foot warehouse. I'm going to put a full gym in there, full size octagon in there.
Wow.
That's literally right now. I'm very excited about that. There's potentially 5 acres in my backyard, pretty much, that I might be buying. I'm gonna start build. I want to start building my little community, my compound. My next goal is to get land and just figure out how to get Tim and Mariah to come out and live. I'll have about 10 acres if I can get that, and start building the community.
And what do you mean by community?
I want Danny's mom. I would like to have more babies. Sometimes I think I'm like, God, I wouldn't mind having 10 babies. So not really 10, but a good amount. Danny's mom, full-time nanny, have her out here. Have Tim and Mariah out here. Have maybe Brandon, my strength and conditioning coach. Fucking love being around that dude. Have him out here, and just being around good people, and keep my head on straight and keep going, because you can get pulled in all sorts of directions. If I'm around good people, I'm 29 right now. I got 5, 6, 7 more years of grinding and just wanting to really do big things in this sport.
Dana talks about this a lot. He talked about it on Saturday after Ilia, talked about it famously after John Jones. Do you feel like a lot of people have been pulling you in different directions since August? Like, have you had to have your radar on and make decisions about which path to go on? People come out of the woodwork, right, when you become a superstar. Have you felt that?
No, I've had, Uncle Emron, my boy Emron, he kind of deals with, I changed my number, and I deleted social media. I don't have Instagram on my phone. I don't have Twitter on my phone. No one has my personal email. No one has my personal number. So I kind of void all that. Emron filters things in. If this is important, it'll get to me. Some people reach out to Tim, and if it's important, it'll get to me. If not, I'm doing my own thing.
Wow, so you don't have social media. So when I see you tweeting or posting, where are you doing that? Or is someone doing that for you?
I have an assistant, Blake, who's all my socials are on his phone. So if I do need to make a tweet, I'll either tell him or I'll do it myself. Or if I need to make a post on Instagram, I'll just do it real quick. And then, I'm just not surfing anymore. I'm not going through. I'm not receiving other information that I don't really care about. I'll listen to podcasts. I'll watch, the MMA Hour to get my political news. But other than that, I don't. I'm not surfing as much as I used to.
When did you decide to do that, and why? Did you feel like it was just too much?
Recently I just, I was like, I'm just surfing too much. I just don't need to. I've been hanging out with Elena, pushing on the swing. Next thing you know, on Instagram, pulled up kind of surfing, and it's so addictive. It just gets you. Whether you like to think it's so, now it gets you.
But by the way, Sean, I think you're covering the speaker now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so addictive. It gets you. It gets you surfing. So I just figured the best way to, not surf is not have it on your phone. I tried putting the timer on there, but then you do the 30-minute timer. It pops up. Type in the password. You get, you're good. So best way is just not even have it on your phone.
Okay, last thing for you. The guy behind you right here. This looks like a different human being. I thought it was Chase Hooper for a second. It's unbelievable how much you've evolved. What do you see when you see that guy? What do you think?
UFC debut, vegan diet. That wasn't very smart, was it? But I see just a young sugar in his flow. I was born to perform. I truly believe some people are just born with a certain gift on how to fight and to be warriors, and I think I have that. And that's what I see in this fight. Just like I was just completely in the flow for 15 minutes. I remember in this fight, the second round, I completely gas out, and then I hit at the end of the second. I get a second wind. Going into the third, I start piecing them up. But yeah, I like rewatching this one. This fight is underrated and has so many highlights, so many clips. Still mad at Dana for not giving us 50,000 bonus for this fight. I'm a little bit over it now, but it was a good fight.
By the way, when did you drop the veganism?
Shortly after this fight. I think I did it for like 6 months. But yeah, I think I heard Ian Gary's on a vegan diet. Yeah,
he said that on Saturday. That's why I just asked you about that. You didn't feel like, and obviously the Diaz brothers probably most famous. You didn't feel like it helped you?
No, everyone's different too. Everyone's got different, working on the inside. So if it's good for some people, it's good for them. But I wouldn't personally recommend it. I think I feel a lot stronger eating some good steaks and some good meats. So.
Okay, Tim said viral KO a couple weeks ago on this show. What's your official prediction?
Yeah, I could definitely see that mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm preparing for 25 minutes. I'm preparing to, leave there limping, leave there sore, leave there with my hand hurting from his head. So preparing for the worst, but realistically, I'm putting this dude's lights out within 3.
Can't wait to see it. Sean, thank you as always for the time. Good luck in the last few days leading up to the fight. Can't wait for it. 299. You look great on Saturday, by the way. I know you don't need to hear this from me, but in case you were wondering what I thought of the fit, as the kids say, the drip, it was fantastic.
Fuck yeah. Thank you, Ariel. And I'll talk soon, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it very much. There he is, the bantamweight champion of the UFC. He looked drippy out there. He looked drippy.